On the first series, the thing I remember really clearly is the time and the passion that was spent over the script, the detail, every tiny detail, cabbage versus cauliflower, what's funnier, the name of Baldric, the name of Edmund, plus the scale of it, never being frightened of something massively ambitious, never being frightened to turn around and set the whole production upside down, everybody having to change everything because they thought they could find something better and funnier. And it was a fantastic lesson to learn, that you just keep going, you never think, well, I've got that now, that's quite funny, it's got to be even funnier. Witch Smeller Pursuivant with Frank Finlay. I made a terrible mistake that night on that, and it was a Friday night, and one of my other responsibilities was clearing up afterwards and making sure everyone had gone. And I thought that Frank Finlay had gone home with the person that normally picked him up, and in fact he hadn't, and he was left behind on this snowy location. It was really snowy. I was already back in the hotel having a brandy, and some of the makeup people came in and they'd stopped. They'd found him wandering in his costume on the way back to the hotel, and I thought my career was over. Rowan just inhabited the character, and Rowan became Edmund Blackadder, so that I went to riding lessons. I took him when he was learning to ride, and you could see him becoming Edmund, just learning how to think like Edmund.
Do you remember about the way he looked?
The discussion of the codpiece. I remember a lot of discussions about sizes of codpiece and what was the best size and who should have the best codpiece. Rowan was incredibly focused, really knowing exactly what he needed, scrupulously polite, and busy thinking, busy doing his work, not demanding attention, just getting on with his work, really. Some of the ambitions of it were perhaps a little bit bigger than the size of the studios we had to fit them into. So big sets, big banqueting halls, wonderful costumes, great big feasts, quite different to the more traditional sitcom, which is a terraced house, perhaps open sets facing an audience, long debates about whether to have an audience or not, the advantages, the disadvantages of studio laughter, and it was felt very firmly that we shouldn't have one, which of course from some of the executives within the BBC there was anxiety about, because that was breaking the norm, and would people know what was funny? I think that there were certainly times during the first series where you'd turn up and it felt more like a huge great feature film than a BBC comedy. Great big chunks of things to get hold of and to get on top of, and stunts and animals and big, burning Frank Finlay at the stake, effects, all the plague, lots of makeup effects as well. So we built a whole village for the Witch Smeller Pursuivant, and the whole village and the people in the village and the animals in the village, and we set fire to it. So we weren't pussyfooting around. As the AFM, I was lower down the rungs, and the way I used to work was to try and anticipate what Richard or John or Rowan might want next, and try and be prepared. But it was impossible. And there was one night when we were tucked up in our little hotel in Alnwick, and about 3 a.m, under the door came a little note saying, "Dearest Hilly Billy, please could we have 20 black Jacob sheep on location tomorrow morning? That would be lovely, we'll love you forever, kisses." You think, no, how? How do I find any sheep, let alone black sheep? Anyway, somehow you do.